Hi everyone, this is Matt with the Northern Angler in Traverse City, Michigan. It's October and we are all out steelhead fishing and having a good old time. We're going to talk today about bead fishing for salmon and steelhead. It's one of our #1 things asked about in the shop. It's just a little bit different than what most people are used to, using yarn eggs and glow bugs and things like that. But it's a really effective way to catch fish, and it's also fairly easy to rig, as you're going to see today. We're going to cover a bunch of things about what you need to get started and what you might want to carry with you and how to put it all together. So first of all, what are beads? Beads are plastic little egg imitations that we use typically instead of just a glow bug or a chunk of yarn on a hook to imitate steelhead or salmon eggs that those fish really go after. Steelhead in particular really get on the egg bite here in October, and it's a great way to catch a lot of fish if you've got your system dialed in. These are hard plastic. There are also some soft ones out there. There's some heavy ones even made out of stone and other things, so there's a lot of options. Most of the time we're just carrying the plastic ones here, the standard. You don't need much more than that. You can make it work, just adjust with split shot and some other things. Why fish beads? Because it's really easy once you see the rigging system to have a super modular system. Instead of tying 20 or 30 different colors and patterns and sizes, all you have to do is grab a few packs of these, some hooks, some pegs, and you're ready to go. I'll take you through that other stuff in a minute, but it's easy to have everything ready to rock in your boat or in your bag without much time prepping at home. That's why, and they work really well. They do. Let's talk about sizes and colors you might want to carry. So for sizes, if you're going to carry one, probably make it an 8mm. We carry 8s and 10s and sometimes even 6s for other situations. So 6s, smaller, that's all millimeter. So low clear water, 6 you might want to have with you. This is not a year for 6mm. Last year was. We had really low clear water for a long time in the fall. It was hot. It was still 80 degrees some days in October. It was crazy. But this year we've had plenty of rain. We're fishing 8s. And then 10s. Higher water is your 10mm bead. It's easier for them to see. You know, you're not fishing it all the time. It's also something you might fish more for salmon. But 8mm right in the sweet spot for most of the time. In terms of colors, there's a lot of colors. This is one of my boxes of beads, and this is barely making a dent in all the colors that are out there. What you need to know is that early in the season, when fish are first starting to come in, you want beads that look like fresh eggs. So you may see some really bright reds that match roe, or some bright oranges like fireball orange. As the season progresses, the natural eggs will lose their color. Therefore, with beads, we tend to use more washed out colors. Like this is glow roe, this is one of our favorites. But we'll also go to tangerine, we'll go to cream, we'll go to all sorts of fun different stuff. And we have them in the store here laid out in the progression that you might want them as well. In the winter, you might use weird stuff like bright pink or blue even. In really dirty water, we'll go to chartreuse. Totally unnatural, but it catches fish. So it's wise to carry a bunch of different options for different situations. They're not expensive. Most packs of beads are $3, so you can afford to have a bunch of different colors. The next thing is how to attach it to your line. You'll see some things out there that are how to tie a knot to keep it there. We don't do any of that. We don't like the knots. We like pegs. A few different companies make them. These are trout pegs. We also get them from Great Lakes. They make a peg. This is a tapered silicone peg, so what you'll do is, and I'll show you here in a minute, you'll feed your line through that hole in the egg, then you'll feed this toothpick through that, and that'll basically cinch it up against the line, trim the peg, it's fixed to the line. Really easy, it's easy to slide, adjust the distance. Most of these pegs as well, you can get 2 uses out of them, so you can double up your efficiency. There's also some different colors out there. So there's pink, there's orange, there's clear. Clear we use most of the time, but if we go back to those really clear water situations, you may want a colored peg because you can create a blood dot effect with your bead still. So really specific imitations like that, we got it covered. Hooks, next thing is hooks. Hooks, you ask 10 people, you might get 10 different opinions on this, but I'm going to lay it out really simple. You have two big options. Number one is an egg hook. Egg hook being a straight eye, short shank, wide gap, very sharp hook. We prefer the C14S from Gamakatsu. Has not let us down. They're extremely sharp, extremely strong, really simple. Those look like this right here in a 25 pack. They also sell them in a 100 pack. Think about getting the 100 packs. You will use them. But also, it's really nice just to be able to carry this little plastic case in your pocket and know you're set for weeks on end. The 25s, I'd put them into a box so you're not digging for this packet everywhere. Anyways, that is one of our favorites. One of the downsides you'll hear people talk about with egg hooks is when you're attaching the knot to this, typically a clinch knot, the hook has the ability to be offset and stuck at a silly angle so that the hooking setup isn't ideal. That's where the second hook option comes in, and that's where the octopus hook is used. This is a Gamakatsu octopus. Again, big fans of Gama. They're very strong, very sharp. The big benefit with this is you can snell it. Most of these we do at home, by the way. I don't have the ability to snell on the river. I can clinch knot all day, but I haven't snelled very often just for this. But that allows you to have a straight line connection that will not change with your line. And so you'll have optimal setup for hooking your fish all the time. With these C14s, just check your hook every once in a while. It's easy. By the way, when I was talking about rigging stuff up at home, that's one of the other big benefits about these bead rigs is you can get either a liter foam board, or some of us use a chunk of a plastic or foam noodle from a pool and just rig up 20 of these things ready to go. So you break off, so what? You know, just tie the end of the your swivel and you're ready to rock. Easy to do. In terms of hook sizing, this is important. 6 is our #1 used size. 6 matches up perfectly with the size 8mm bead. That's our favorite. Of course, there's leeway. I have friends that use 10s and 12s. They like really subtle presentations. Find what works for you. But as a guideline, 6s, size 6 hook for size 8 bead, size 4 hook for size 10 bead. And you can figure it out there. An 8 probably matches up with a size 6 bead. I'll write that in the description too, just so we're clear on all that. But that's the 3 pieces that really make sense. Think about getting a box for your beads. These bags aren't the most durable. If you want to put them in Ziploc bags, sure, that's fine. But we sell boxes like this. This is a Miho. These are one of my favorites. Super, super durable box. Tons of adjustments. You can pull all these dividers out, and it's like a Plano on drugs. It's awesome. The other option are these great little clamshell boxes we have here. These are like $5, and you got, look at all the different spots for beads you got. So you can stay organized on the river. It's going to save you time. It's going to let you fish more and probably catch more fish. Now that we've talked about what you need, let's take a quick look at how to rig everything together. Okay, let's get all rigged up here. I'm going to use chartreuse backing here just so you can see what's happening. This is a 10mm bead. This is going to be your tippet. Thread that through your bead, let it slide loose. Don't worry about it, it's not going anywhere. Grab your hook. This is a C14S from Gamakatsu. Alright, we're just using a standard clinch knot so we can twist that all up. I'll bring it in here closer. Alright, through the loop, pinch that, center down. Easy peasy. Okay, take a look at the knot there. Alright, grab your bead, should still be attached here. grab your peg, insert peg into the hole here. And it's tapered, remember, so cinch tight there. All right, grab your nippers, trim the edges of this off. Get that out of the way. And there you have it. Now this is about an inch and a half between bead and hook. And that's all you should need for Great Lakes salmon and steelhead. If you go much further, you end up foul hooking a lot of fish. So that's kind of your setup there. Pretty simple, like I said. Okay, you've seen now how to rig everything together. You're feeling a little bit more confident. But if you still have questions, let us know. Email us. Put them in the comments. Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got. And we'll answer it. Or call the shop. Come in here. We'll rig it up right in front of you so you see what you're working with. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned with our videos. We're going to do some more regarding Great Lakes salmon and steelhead. We're probably doing some indicator stuff. We're going to do some spay and Skagit setup stuff. So stay tuned. There's a lot more info coming down. But you can also stay tuned with what we're up to. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, thenorthernangler.com. We'll see you out there on the river.